Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are doing an art journal page in my Dina Wakley, the mixed surface one that I had hauled recently, and I've done this one. Hopefully will be on my channel soon, but it was for a YouTube hop, and then with the paint left over from that, I started that background. And then what else have I done in here? Oh, and then the other inspiration. So this one has just been my like new one to play with. I definitely like the various surfaces to play on. I think this was just regular like watercolor paper, did the burlap, and so I think this is watercolor paper and this is canvas. But I wanted to work on the canvas, and I wanted to do this side just so that this spread was complete, and that way we can move on. So I had recently picked up the collage papers called the Forrest. These were a new release, as well as the new stamp release. I will, whenever she has new collage papers and stamps, add to cart, okay? Dina Wakley can do no wrong for me. The same with Tim Holtz. And because I do like the, you know, the nature scene completely for myself. So I am wanting to do some like painty backgrounds, sort of a sunset. So I pulled out some oranges, pinks, and a yellow. But then I also want to do like the sunburst. So that's why the yellow is here. So have like a little gradient, kind of a sunset. Collage the trees down was my next thought. And then stamp out these guys. But I haven't thought that far through. I was really thinking about the background a lot. You can see where my priorities are at, right? You know, with the pretty stuff. So, once again, for me, I think, and as I always explain, art journaling is fun. Art journaling, it's to learn how to play with your art supplies. That's what I think I'll always enforce, is that sometimes we buy these paints, we buy the sprays, we buy the stamps, and we don't know how to play with them. And sometimes just taking, you know, 20 minutes, however long this page will take me, is all you need in order for your next session to get that much better and better. Okay, so play with the supplies you buy. That's my only request of you. And I have a new surface. So this is 2024. This is my first filming of the year. Got a new board, put down my media mat. So this is glass, and this is that like cleany surface, so that I cannot dirty my desk as quick as we did last year. And we're just going to go onto a dry surface. Like I said, I'm just kind of going to blend it all in and see how it comes out. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I think I'm definitely going to go from a pink, orangey, and very little yellow here. That way I can do the yellow with the burst before we add the collage papers, okay? And for pinks, you know what? This is like the only pink I have. Oh no, but I have some dilution. Let me go grab a couple more pink variations. I have more dilution variations. So we have pink flamingo, funky fuchsia, and bubblegum. So I think fuchsia is the darkest. So let's just do a little bit, and let's get going. Okay, once my area is prepared, I just kind of go for it. Now, don't get me wrong, ladies and gentlemen. You could have taken out a, paint palette, either a plastic thing or one of those sheets of paper, but I just applied my paint straight to my page, and we were just going to see what came of it. This is simply my approach, because I figure when you're working in your art journal, you can do no wrong. This is totally for me and for you to come along with me in this process. So have the confidence to do it this way too. And it just definitely, like I always say, I think I've always said, play with your products. That's how we get good. That's what we know, learn what they can do, how we can use them. And so that is simply what I did here too. So I blended all those colors to get a nice ombre effect. And now I'm just taking the stencil that's a sunburst and using some, I think I just got regular craft paint, like inexpensive one. Yeah. From the big box stores, simply because I just didn't have a yellow in my Dina Wakley, surprisingly. So I definitely will be adding a yellow to my next order from A Cherry on Top. And you can see that I'm not going all the way to the edge. I kind of want it to fade out in essence. Fade out is a word used very loosely. So then with the collage, make sure everything at this point is dry. I do probably blast it with the heat gun. I just didn't film it. But you want to make sure that this process is dry, because when you're going in with the collage papers now, you are using gel medium, which will, wet the surface again. And it would move the paint if it wasn't dry and become, kind of pink and yellow with the colors I've used so far. So just keep that in mind. And for me, I went through and fussy cut out close to the image that I wanted, and even like kind of gutted those little pieces between the trees, simply because most of the time when I am using gel medium, this paper does behave like a translucent effect most of the time. But if you want it to be even more translucent without having the paper there, it would definitely be so. So you'll see like toward the end, like it just kind of looks like it does melt to the background for the most part. It's just visible a little bit, as you can see as I work on this page. So when you take off as much of the edging and the white paper as much, you'll get more of that kind of seamless into the background effect. And that's just been, again, in my experience with playing with these papers. And you can see that I also get my hands involved. I am not afraid to kind of gunking up my hands during this process. It's all part of that fun, in my opinion. And so don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. I went ahead and trimmed off the extra, and then I'm looking at it and I was like, to take us up a notch too, let's add some of the Astro paste. This is the glitter one. I believe it's called Gold Metal, or it's Goldfish. I know I have the lunar paste and the Astro paste, and I know one is one. That was such a fun detail, I have to be honest. Now, since I was already working with so many warm colors and I wanted to stamp out the deer, I also knew I couldn't stamp out the deers, or they call them fawns. I think the stamp is called fawns, just on my art journal page, because it would definitely just blend into the background. And so I did them on white cardstock and then just spritzed them with my gloss sprays in, I believe turquoise is the color. I'm looking at them, Ocean, and the green one is called Lime. And so I just did the spraying lightly. As you can see, it's not an opaque application. I just made sure I gave them some color and definitely went with the cool tones in order to be a very much of a contrast to the warm background. Now, also, these are the supplies, and this is how we use them in the Dina Wakley line. You can see that they're unproportionate, and that may drive some people a little batty, but these are, the products in which we pair them together and use them for. I love the look. I love, Dina Wakley for me is one of like the top people, along with Tim Holtz. I love her style. I love Tim Holtz products. And so anything that she releases, I shall try and play with in some sort of way. And honestly, I need to give myself more art journal playtime, because I just do. I love her work. And, I have comments in my DMs like, yes, I'm a happy medium. I love all my memory keeping and printing my photos and telling the stories. But there is just something too. There's truly an artist inside of me that loves playing with art supplies. So I always hope that, you come to my channel to learn a tip or two. And even if you are not versed in playing with art supplies or mixed media like I am, I hope that I inspire you to give it a try, because I'm not the expert, but I'm not afraid to play and learn what they can do. And I hope that's what you also kind of get from, visiting me and my channel, is that I can do a little bit of everything. I kind of have that mentality, well, I can try it or do it, or do a DIY project and figure it out. And I'm okay with that. This is fun. This is all meant to be fun. This is like my creative outlet. So here for me too, I was like, what else can I add? So I took a Posca gold paint pen and just doing some like little dash marks just to add a little bit more interest. With mark making, it could be very random or intentional with where you put them. At this stage too, you could probably also have broken out some of your stamps that give you more of a grungy or textured background. That would have also been key at this one. But like I said, I just went for some Posca paint pens, and here's a white one as well. So a little gold speckling, a little white speckling. We're just going to give it a little smattering of all the things. And now for me, I always appreciate a nice title in some sort of way. But once again, I thought if I stamped, I'm not going to be able to see it directly, so I am stamping on a piece of vellum. And I keep all my scrap pages with this too, because I use sometimes vellum for other projects. So I always just have like a collection of odd sizes. So sorry, I'm stamping off the screen, but the small word I'm stamping out is seek, and it's on vellum, and that way it'll pop, and at least the paper is also like a translucent version. I'm just trying to find a spot for it, and it does end up staying right there on the left hand side with those trees. I do believe I do believe I cut them into individual pieces just so that they have a little bit of space in between them. And I believe the Beckman is the go-to, the Fabric Tac Beekman is the glue I am using lately, just because I think it stays better on the surface of gel medium. Yeah, here I am. gel medium. Sometimes regular paper crafting glue will not adhere, because remember now, through this is the glitter, is the gel medium, the collage paper, and also paint. So with all those kind of combinations, you know, I just use a glue that I've come to kind of, I hate to say, I kind of love. I kind of use it for everything. Here I am going in with the lime, also from the gloss sprays from Dina Wakley, probably still on my desk, to finish it off with some paint splatters, and that wraps up my page. Okay, this lovely page is complete. I'm going to finish right there after those splatters. Let me show you all the details. So the little deer are perfect. I liked that I chose colors that were obviously opposing to the background. All those gold little mark makings, splatters, that astro paste. Look at that gold. And then more splatters all here. Fun, colorful, bright. Love it. All right, my sweets. I will hopefully remember to leave everything I used linked down below. I do believe, though, that the book, the journal is sold out, but for some of the stamps and stuff are definitely probably still available. I will leave as much as I can linked down below for you. Thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe if you are new to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up, and until next time.